Welcome to the IDP Hunter podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hungard, IDP Hunter. I'm joined with Jamie Perot. What's going on, Jamie? How you been?
I'm great. It's the bye-week apocalypse, so get ready. That dark stretch where your lineup looks like a lineup from a fantasy horror movie. So, hell, man, half your squad is on vacation, and you're rolling out random scrubs that are barely rosterable. So, it's time to grind. We're going to stream some smart players, and we're going to find those one-week heroes that'll help your season keep alive.
I know that's up. Guys, I wanted to share something. I wanted to share with you my guest, Joe Wiggins from Offensive Points. What's going on, Joe?
Steve, Jamie, what's up?
Something I want to share what I do on every podcast, Joe. I kind of, I show the fantasy board, the accuracy ranking. Right now for the season, we're 8 weeks deep. I'm in third place behind Leo, Master IDP, and then IDP Guru. So I'm in third place. It's really close. It's like literally less than 100 points between all of us. So we're going. But something else I found, I was perusing through here. I was looking at last year's rankings. Jamie, we got a little celebrity on our hands. We have the number one QB whisperer. The number one QB ranker from last season was no other than Joe Wiggins of Offensive Points.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Are you single? Do you want to get married? Like, can I get your insight? Like, help me out, man.
Anything you guys want, man.
There he is right there. Can you see the screen? Old Joe Wiggins, IDP Army. He's a little QB whisperer. So hopefully when we get to that topic, I'll let you guys get to it. He can show us some insight. I don't know, Joe. I don't have time to be sitting there with that dirty offense. I get my hands in the trenches. I talk about defense,
Yeah, and I love defense, man. I mean, we started out doing a lot of IDP, and then our shows right now are mostly offensive focused, so that's mainly where I'm focused, but I do love talking IDP, so hopefully I can give you some thoughts there.
So the show he's mentioning, it's Offensive Points, and you guys have been doing it a while, haven't you, Joe?
Yeah, we started in 2020 during COVID. We were bored, and we used to hang out quite a bit, and we were like, hey, let's start a fantasy football podcast. And our buddy Jordan Rains was running the IDP Army, and he got us out there, and we've been rolling ever since.
So fun fact.
Epic Fail's in the chat. I just want to say what's up. Epic Fail, glad you joined.
Yeah, what's up, Epic? Epic was just on the other show with us. He's pulling a doubleheader with us. We need a QB whisperer in all our Superflex. That's why we got him on tonight. So these guys can geek out offense. I don't have much IDP DL, so we'll kick it off to you quarterbacks first, Jamie. I just have one question I wanted to ask Joe. Joe, as far as what you guys do, because I've been following you guys a while, you start off as a college syndicate, right? And then you grew your channel. How did that work?
So really, Billy Manziel's our college guy, and we kind of started off, he was really looping us in on what's going on with college football, and we started off as a dynasty, mainly focused on rookies in the offseason. So that was mainly what we were doing, and then we got in with Jordan, got into IDP, and, I think dynasty is really where our hearts are. We're going to start in like week 12, I think, diving into this next year's rookie class coming up and what people need to do with their dynasty leagues. So yeah, that's our favorite part of the season for sure. Is definitely the off season.
It's awesome. I hear your voice, and I've never been on stream with you before, so I get to see your face. But when I watch streams, I don't really watch the screen. I just listen to it, and your voice sounds so familiar in the back of my head constantly. So I've watched hundreds of your streams before. So I am interested to get your background on like Dynasty, because I love Dynasty. That's my forte. So we need to get together more.
Yeah,
so I can
absolutely.
Tell you, just he's being a little modest right now. He's mentioned IDP Army. I started listening to IDP podcast as my game expanded. This is going on 10 years ago, Joe, and he was on there with Jordan Rains. So I've kind of followed you guys for a while. After your college syndicate, you guys merged on. And then in the off season, they were doing content with us over here at the IDP Center. And where you moved on to now, Joe?
Oh, we're on Fantasy Six Pack now. So our show is released every Thursday morning at 8. We do every game preview for the week. Guys we like, guys we don't like. And you can get that all right before the games kick off for your fantasy week.
And what's awesome is you have a show released on Fantasy Six Pack on Thursday, and I do a Fantasy Six Pack recorded show that releases on Thursday, but it's strictly Dynasty.
Oh, that's awesome.
Go check out Dynasty Six Pack. You get to hear Joe's preview for the week, and you get to hear my Dynasty aspects going forward.
Everything you need, one place.
So for those on Spotify, iHeartRadio, welcome in. Apple Podcasts, welcome in. I'm actually on YouTube. I got his Twitter pulled up right now. Those are the three. They fight like brothers. It's a great show. And Jamie, you said it. You hit on the head. I don't listen to many podcasts either, but they both got great voices for radio. Josh is more of the sarcastic one a little bit, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he brings a good amount of humor. I always say he's the lawyer because he can argue any side of a case just to go against what we're saying. So it's kind of
had Joe. I had him on my show when I did the IDP guys episode. So he did that with me. We did an offensive defense show, and then Billy's a Senior Bowl scout. So if you come down with us to Mobile, you'll see him down there.
Yeah, let's go.
But I always tell people, Joe, like, this is the only show that does offense and defense. It's not really true. Maybe on a global scale, you guys have been doing it. You guys have been rocking that well. And before we go, I just wanted to give you guys a compliment. Thank you, Offensive Points, for doing our team previews. And the IDP Center appreciates you. I know this guy appreciates you, Jeff. Infinite Number of Monkeys. He's awake. He usually falls asleep this time of night, but he stays up for you, Jamie.
Yeah, we're going to get you some good streamers here, some bets at the end of the show. So stay tuned, man. Don't fall asleep on us.
Heck yeah. So I guess you guys can kick it off.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's go after the quarterback streamers. So my number one streamer this week is Mr. Joe Flacco. Yeah, he ain't dead yet. Over the last 3 weeks, the Bengals actually have the best quarterback schedule for the next 3 weeks. So the rest of the season, like, they're actually like third easiest. But you got to remember, Flacco's not going to play the whole year because the other Joe, Burrow, is going to come back. But at least till now, to week 12, 13, when he does come back, you have a great schedule for Joe Flacco. And I don't know how you can't stream him and just put him in your lineup. Next, I'm going to go Marcus Mariota. Mariota puts up 20 fantasy points in both of his starts this year. And if you look back to last year, he produced in 2024. So if McLaurin or Debo plays, he's definitely going to be a solid bye week fill-in. Here's one for you. Mr. Mushroom Man, Aaron Rodgers.
Mushroom Man.
This dude should be motivated against his old team. He's playing the Packers for the first time ever. He actually threw 4 touchdowns in 2 games. And now Green Bay's, they have a struggling defense. Their secondary, it's not good. So that makes Aaron Rodgers, to me, a solid replacement quarterback this week if you need a streamer. If you're desperate, I guess go Tyrod Taylor. And then deeper, Penix. Penix is dealing with a bone bruise. If he plays, I think he could get a little bit of points. But then Cousins, if he fills in, if you need him, they're facing the Dolphins. The Dolphins are horrible. Deeper, I even like Spencer Rattler over Penix and Cousins. So they're facing the Bucs. I think it's going to be a close game. Bucs are probably going to pull ahead. Rattler's going to need to throw some balls down the field. So Rattler, to me, is a decent streamer. What do you think, Joe?
I love all those, man. I was going to say Aaron Rodgers earlier is a great streaming option because he wants to take Brady's record from him as beating every team in the league. I think the Packers are the last team he has not faced. So he's going to want to get a win there. And then, the other guy, Spencer Rattler, honestly, has been getting it done for fantasy. It's not pretty. It's not cool, but he gets it done. In the Kings Classic, I've had to start Rattler the last 2 weeks with Lamar out, and he's gotten it done for me, honestly. I can't really complain about anything Spencer Rattler's been doing.
So we have a question in the chat. Gino, man, week 8, he shit the bed. But
Wow,
week
Jamie.
7.
Tell us how you really feel.
So, no, week 7, he shit the bed. This week, he's on bye, I think, right? So, no, he is not playable week 8.
Maybe rest of the season, you think?
I feel like they got to give Pickett a shot, personally, because Gino's not it, and Pickett was a first-round pick. I know he's been kicked around a little bit.
Honestly, I think they need to get Aiden O'Connell healthy and get him a shot, because that dude could actually be fantasy viable over Pickett, because Pickett sucks. No one's going to want to start Pickett in a fantasy league, but if Aiden O'Connell is the starter, I could see him maybe having a streamable week here and there. What do you think about Pickett versus O'Connell?
So worst case scenario for the Raiders, man. I feel bad. Ideally, they're going to go into this bye and figure it out with Gino, but man, it is rough. The pass catchers are rough. Genty is getting killed back there, not even getting a chance because they're just not generating any offense. So,
and they're talking about trading Myers. So if they trade Myers, that's even going to look worse for that team.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend any of those Raiders quarterbacks going forward.
I think you got some people in the chat. They're asking like super deep questions. They're asking like Pickett or Milrow. Who would you put up?
Milrow 100%. He's got that rushing upside. He's the cheat code. Dynasty, give me Milrow way over Pickett. Like, I wouldn't even give you a 5th round pick for Pickett, but I'll give you a 3rd plus for Milrow.
Yeah.
You know what's funny on Joe's show? They get like really philosophical and in depth with their takes. Like, we kind of like just name players, we go whatever rank. But Joe, I would say this: isn't it funny how a draft class can change? Because Pickett. No one wants to do anything for Pickett, but like 2-3 years ago, Pickett was like the shit. He was like the top player in his draft class. So just funny how quickly that changes.
It was a horrible draft class, and he was going in rookie drafts at the end of the 1st round, but no one wanted to take him.
No one. I mean, Billy and I were at that Senior Bowl, and I remember it rained the entire time, and we were sitting out there and we were watching Pickett, we were watching Malik Willis, and everyone was just tweeting up a storm about how great the quarterbacks looked. And we were like, are we looking at the same thing? Because like these guys look like trash out here. They're not getting it done. Yeah. And we've definitely seen that play out. But I think in a situation like the Raiders have, they might as well give it a shot because they did make the trade for him. But
so epic fail. Yeah, you can go for Tyrod Taylor, Andy Dalton if you're desperate. I actually prefer Dylan Gabriel over them just because of that tight end situation where I think he can get points to Fannin. They're facing a defense where you can get Judy involved. And he's got the rushing upside. So why not Gabriel?
So you got another one here. I think I know how Joe's going to answer this because I've listened to a couple of his shows.
Oh, this ain't even close.
OC Tarzan saying, you want Sam Darnold, you want Daniel Jones, and he said rest of the season. I assume when they give us something crazy on bye week, wherever, I'm assuming it's rest of the season or dynasty. I don't know. Go ahead. How do you guys see that one?
I see Daniel Jones as being the preferable pick the rest of the season. Their schedule is easy. I mean, they have the Texans coming up twice. The Jags are nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, I like Daniel Jones. He gives you the rushing upside. He's not doing it quite as much as he did in New York here. And the weapons are pretty solid with Warren, Pittman. Hopefully we can get Josh Downs healthy. And then Jonathan Taylor, every defense has to keep him into account. So Daniel Jones has pick of the reign. If Sam Darnold, if JSN's he's getting like 50% target share right now in this offense. So if they get up where he's not open or something like that, Sam Darnold, I don't really know what the upside is the rest of the season.
So Danny Dimes, Danny Dollars, Indiana Jones right now should be considered a top 10 rest of the season. Darnold outside the top 20. It's not even close. You have to consider the rushing upside, the tight end weapon that he has. How could you not have Danny Dollars a top 10 rest of the season. I'm actually considering, would I rather have Jaden Daniels or Daniel Jones rest of the season, considering Jaden Daniels' injury concern.
Mm-hmm.
Justin
Interesting
Herbert,
question.
even like Justin Herbert, like that and Daniel Jones are close rest of the season. Baker, like put all those guys in a barrel and just pick one.
I know you answered this already, guys. I know you did, but I think this was a great question by Epic. Any sleeper flyer deep shots you think, or are you just playing it on injury? I think we got them all. The Dylan Gabriels, the Marcus Miller. Yeah.
In a super flex, these guys are already gone. You can't get these guys. Like,
yeah, you're playing them.
Yeah, you already have them on your roster. They're not even available off waivers in super flex. So, Steve, what do you have for us for the IDP? Because I know a lot of people tune in for IDP. You and Joe are both the IDP gurus. Let's hear it.
So Jamie's pretty good at IDP. He just doesn't want to pigeonhole himself, so don't let him fool you. So when I'm wrong, he corrects me. I did, fun fact, a couple weeks ago I was doing my rankings, right? I showed him to him. I gave him a sneak peek. He's like, TJ Watt's too high. TJ Watt's too high. And sure as shit he was. So kudos to you, Jamie. He knows the stuff. Sorry to disappoint, guys. I have a short list at DL this week because, Joe, I've been doing this show for 8 weeks now. It's like repetitive people. So if you need a tier 1 guy, you're kind of screwed. I'm sorry. But, DL2 is kind of fun because if you look at most of our setups, DL like 20 to 50, it's like a mere 2-point difference a game. There's guys like that for days. Guys like that grow on trees, okay? So I'm going to try not to repeat this episode. I know I brought up Uchenna Nwosu again. That's probably the closest thing you got. That's probably the closest thing you got to a guy that could be elite in that upper elite tier, but especially during the bye weeks. We're in a bye week apocalypse right now. Nobody's playing, He's on a bye. Seattle's on a bye, but if you need an elite DL type, you're screwed, but you can probably cheat ahead, grab him off waivers, and hope for next week. I do that all the time, Joe. I don't know about you. I'll sneak a guy in early, even though he's not playing. But I like Nwosu because he's been getting sacks since he's been getting 50-plus snaps. Last 4 games, 2 sacks, half sack, 1.51. So that's a guy I like. And staying with the Seattle thought, there's nothing wrong with a defensive tackle. Byron Murphy has been killing it this year with the leagues we play in. Well, I'll ask Joe because I know Jamie's answer. I play in a lot of 1-2-3 scoring. You?
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah, most of mine are 1-2-3 scoring. What does that mean to the audience at home? 1 point, assist, tackle, little things. 2 points for tackles, tackle for loss as well. 3 points for bigger plays, what have you. But we're getting 2 points tackle for loss. Look at your scoring. If it's juiced up, if you're getting 4 points tackle for loss, I will play the heck out of DTs because they're the ones penetrating. They're the ones getting tackle for loss. So that's my kind of like if you're stuck and you need to plug, put them in there. I'm going to go a little deeper. I'm only going to do a couple of these guys, and I'm going to hand it right back to you. Kayvon Chasen. Have you seen the numbers on Kayvon Chasen lately? Holy cow, is he doing good stuff out there, man? Let me just read a little bit to you guys, okay? I wrote the waiver wire article. He's one of my top plays if you need a player. But again, coming over to the Patriots, he's kind of low key because you got Harold Landry and Milton Williams getting all the attention. He's got 12 tackles, 4.5 sacks in 6 games. He didn't play the 7th game. So he's a guy right there you can get super, super late and forget about it. So I think Fantasy Pros, Joe, got him DL like 45-ish. I can probably play him as a tier 2 right now, easy. Question in the chat, Nick Herbig or Alex Highsmith. Here's the thing. I've been playing Nick Herbig too, and I've talked about him. The reason I'm not talking about him right now, Chris, is he's a dead man walking. Eventually, Highsmith's getting his job back. Right now, it's kind of an ugly mess. It's kind of an ugly mess right now because they're both splitting a rotation from each other. So, you're not really going to get a lot of juice, a lot of value out of either one of them for the time being. But if you're asking me rest of the season, it's going to be Highsmith. You just can't expect much. Herbick another week or two, and you got to forget about him. So that's the way I'm answering that one. I got one more for you guys. I play in this tournament, Joe, called King of IDP. It's on Sleeper. It's on the fancy Facebook page, IDP Football. A lot of us get together. There's like thousands of us in the chat. 14 of us play in this league. I'm the number 1 seed right now. I'm screwed for DL3 during this bye-week apocalypse. I am literally screwed. So I've been digging through waivers trying to find a guy. And believe it or not, Jorge actually found this guy. Alex Wright. If you ever heard this guy, Alex Wright of the Browns, oh my God, he's available everywhere. You want to talk about a cheat code? Holy smokes, he's available damn everywhere. And I'll tell you what he's doing. He's not getting any sacks. He's kind of forgotten about. Remember in the offseason, Joe, we were talking about McGuire, pick up Isaiah McGuire. It turned out to be this guy. Alex Wright has a whole bunch of tackles in the last 2-3 games. He's totally startable. People forget that. People forget that, the DL stuff. I do that too. Sometimes I try to chase sacks. No, the tackles are what get you your solid baseline. So here he is last week, 5 tackles. Here he is the week before, 6 tackles. Just getting a little playing time. Anything over 20% snap share, he's getting you tackles. He got week 5, 4 tackles and a sack, forced fumble. So if you're stuck like I normally am, I'm going to go ahead and get it. Question in the chat from Epic. Epic was asking, would you go Carl Granderson at DL? Or would you rather versus Tampa Bay? Or would you rather, one of the streamers you mentioned, is the return of Chase Young silently hurting Granderson's production? I don't think it is. They play a 3-4, so both of them could be edges if they really want to. Granderson's got his own role. He's 241 pounds or something? They're not going to put him in coverage. They're going to put him over there, So he's going to rush the passer. So I think they both can coexist fine. I don't think it affects anything. I think that's an excellent question. But yeah, you totally, I'd go Granderson. You, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, we saw how Tampa Bay's offensive line looked against the Lions. What they were able to generate with 4 guys the entire game was ridiculous. So I think Granderson is a good bounce back game. We did see his snap share dip a little bit, but I wouldn't be concerned just yet on it.
Yeah. So that's it. Like I said, it's a dry week for DL. I don't want to hold you guys up. I want you guys to get back to your offense. I do have a ton of linebackers this week. So go ahead. I'll kick it right back to you. Go ahead. Dealer's choice, running back, wide receiver, Jamie.
Yeah, we're going to start off with the running back. I'm going to go with Brashard Smith. I mentioned him the last 2 weeks on this show before he broke out, and now he actually broke out, so you may have trouble getting him. He had a 42% of the rush share, 14% target share last week. Most of his rushes, they did come in the fourth quarter, but 4 of his 5 targets came in the first half. And he's also seen snaps on that first drive. So they are using him. He'll keep in that 2-minute drill roll, which is valuable in PPR leagues. And especially in deep leagues where you're streaming, the Chiefs, they're going to use him in that short pass heavy usage. Next, I'm going to go Tyler Algier. Here is the reason the Falcons, they could rush for 200-plus yards this week, week 8. Bijan is going to handle most of that himself, but Miami is allowing the most rushing yards and the 3rd most fantasy points to running backs. So that makes Algier like a sneaky solid bye-week play with a touchdown upside. This guy I love. I've been hearing, do I start this guy? I'm going to go RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey, he's been quiet so far. He's playing behind Dobbins, but he did score in week 7. Dallas has the best offense in the league and the worst defense. So this makes RJ Harvey a deep shot because it's going to be a shootout. Yeah, it's risky, but I'm taking the shot on him, getting at least 4 to 5 receptions alone. And in PPR leagues, that's gold. Then I'm going to go Kyle Monangai. This has not been my Nungai all year because I've been a Roshan guy, but I just put out a song, and I created a song that is the death of Roshan Johnson. So I am going to get on the Kyle Monangai train. He's been seeing more work, but if Swift goes down, Monangai is going to be a valuable running back. Then Devin Neal, check this out. So Devin Neal is a sneaky ad right now. The Saints, RB2, Kendrick Miller, he tore his ACL in week 7, ending his season. He's done. The rookie Devin Neal steps into that short yard role, and he's going to be the backup work behind Kamara. So, yeah, he's going to have limited upside right now, but you got to roster him in deeper leagues, especially with New Orleans Saints. There's that whole scenario where Kamara, they want to trade him. Is he going to retire? We don't know, but if that happens, Devin Neal is going to get the full workload. If you're completely desperate, go after Tyjae Spears and Kenneth Gainwell. So, Joe, I want to ask you, are you starting RJ Harvey this week?
I am starting RJ Harvey this week, and I pray that your foresight comes to bear in this, because I started RJ Harvey last week in this league. I am fighting injuries. That blue medical tent is lurking on my team right now, and I got to start RJ Harvey. That touchdown saved my life last week. So, yes, I will be starting him.
That's awesome. Is anyone else that I mentioned, like Devin Neal, Monangai, Algier, who else did I mention? Brashard Smith. Are those guys you're interested in actually picking up this week and maybe putting them in your lineup with this apocalypse?
Yeah, I mean, the bipocalypse is really hurting people. I like Algier because we assume that Atlanta's going to be up on Miami. I mean, I know Miami's been drugged through the mud enough, but they're not good. And we assume that Atlanta is going to run up the score on them a little bit. And that's where Algier absolutely shines for that. Monangai, it's a little bit interesting. I'm a huge Bears fan, as you can see here, but he was really solid. He's starting to get more into the offense. And I think the Bears coming out of the bye week were just like, hey, we're going to run the football. We're going to get back to the basics here and play defense and run the football, which I like to see. I don't want Monangai to continue to be as good as he is, because we do need to draft a running back next year. So I don't want Ben Johnson being like, all right, this guy's it. I want Jeremiah Love on my team, but I do like Monangai here. And then the Devin Neal one's fascinating, man. He was so good at Kansas State. He can receive the football. Real 3-down skill set. And, Kamara is getting up there in age. I don't think they're going to trade him now because they just lost Kendre Miller, but Devin Neal has a real shot, especially at the end of the season here, to really pick up his playing time. I also like they picked up Audric Estime when Kendre Miller went down. I was pretty high on Estime on the Broncos, but they could use kind of a goal line guy like that on this team, as Kamara and Devin Neal are fairly similar. And then the one guy I want to point out is Tyrone Tracy from the Giants. I saw him drop a lot of places, and I love Cam Scatabo, but man, that dude wants to run through a concrete wall. And if there's injury prone, I would say Cam Scatabo might be it. I like Tyrone Tracy. We saw him worked in a little bit more last week, and we saw what he can do when he handles a full share of snaps. So make sure that Tyrone Tracy is picked up.
100%. I almost put Tyrone Tracy on this list, but I thought he was too owned in leagues.
Yeah.
I didn't think people were dropping him. So
well, I picked him up in the Kings Classic last week. I was shocked to see him there, and I needed a running back. And I was like, oh, man, Tyrone Tracy's here? Hell yeah. Throw him on the bench. So I've seen him out there a couple times.
And then you didn't mention Brashard Smith. What do you think of him going forward? Can he take over that Jerick McKinnon role?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he can be that little pass catching thing. I think what happens with the Chiefs is Rashee Rice is the extension of their running game, right? So when Rashee Rice is back in the lineup, I think it actually opens up the running game for them. And we saw Pacheco, he's played 70% of the snaps the last 2 weeks before last week, which was a blowout. So I think we're seeing the tide kind of shift back to Pacheco's favor, which once these cold weather games start rolling in, I think we're going to see more of Pacheco in that running style. But I do like Brashard Smith. A lot of his playing time came after that blowout, so I'm a little bit weary about it. But he's like lightning quick with the ball in his hands. They just have so many weapons on this team. That's my only concern about the Chiefs players.
Yeah. So the one thing I noticed that he did get snaps on the first drive.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives it a plus for him. And 4 of his 5 targets actually came in the first half.
Mhm.
So I think there is usage for him even without a blowout.
Yeah, but I think the McKinnon role is absolutely possible. If he can get those two with Patrick Mahomes doing that little shovel pass, they need to bring that back into the offense because McKinnon used to score a touchdown every time he got that. So if that's Brashard Smith, he's absolutely flex worthy.
All right, Steve, you said you had some linebackers, man. I want to hear what you have. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, this was the week to do it, guys. I mean, last week was pretty good. This week, holy cow, I got like 10 players. If you need a linebacker, this is your week. On that note, over at the Fancy Six Pack, I'm a writer over there. This is actually a featured article called "The Every Down Linebacker." If you guys want to check this out, go ahead. It's over at the Fancy Six Pack. All 3 of us work over the Fancy Six Pack, but this is one of several articles I write. I'm just going to read a couple excerpts out of that to kind of just pique you guys' interest. For small, shallow leagues, I'm not going to go in depth. The 2 names you need to know are Barrett Carter and Tatum Bethune. The reason I'm not going to go in depth, Joe, I've been talking to these guys for 2 weeks now. If you don't know and you've been living under a rock and you hear me yelling and Jamie, we're all talking, then I can't help you. But I will leave you with a fun fact. Fantasy Pros is catching on. They got Barrett Carter right now, the green dot, the 50 box snap guy. They got him right now as an LB24. That's cool because I got him as an LB14 rank. So one of us is wrong. I think he's fringe tier 1 right now. So go ahead and get him if you haven't. Bethune's the same level. Both of them are the same tier. Play him if you got him. Let's move on to a little bit of a bigger size leagues. We're going to start in Dallas. And it's funny because the Dallas Cowboys right now are a mess. They got like 5 linebackers in a rotation, do they not? In the article, Joe, I posted a picture of that old TV show Dallas, and I'm like, this is like a soap opera. What the hell? We're going to start. The odd man out is Jack Sanborn. He was supposed to come back. He was healthy last week. He didn't get any play because rookie Shamar James outplayed him. That's my guy right now, Shamar James. I'll get into him a little bit. DeMarvion Overshown, he's slowly getting nursed back to being the guy he is, but that's the buy. I think it's going to be James and Overshown, long-term dynasty, maybe end of season. Right now, the team has to play Kenneth Murray. If you look at it, they signed him for 2 years, $15.5 million. They have to play Murray. So by proxy right now, I think it's James and Murray, and then later on in the year, it might be Overshown Murray. As you know, the reason I keep saying James here, because everyone else is kind of a volume play, James really blew it the hell up this week. Holy cow, did he, Joe? I mean, he went – well, actually, the last 3 weeks, let's talk about that. 48 box snaps. Next game, 53 box snaps. Next game, 47 box snaps. During that 3-game span, Joe, 33 tackles. He's killing it right now. So, yeah. So, James is your guy. I'm picking him up everywhere I can. We may be late to the party with the 3 I mentioned. So, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. The Raiders got a guy they picked up, Landon Roberts. Remember him? Mm-hmm. Landon Roberts is the name.
18.
Now, he kind of gets ragged. Yeah. He kind of gets ragged on as a journeyman. He had 18 tackles, what Joe just said, right? Amazing. 93% snaps. Now, how did he get those 18 tackles? He got box snaps. You want to guess how many box snaps? 72, Joe. They put him in the box 72 friggin' times. That's elite
That's money
stuff right there. So if you're in a league where your friends don't watch football and they don't see it, go get him now. He's your guy moving forward. But yeah, all 4 of those we just mentioned, I'm good with. This one here requires a little imagination. Nakobe Dean, he only had 45% of the snaps. It doesn't look good. That's one thing about IDP. Don't chase just box snaps. Look at the overall value here. Only 45% of snaps, but he was 3rd on the team in tackles. They want him back in the box as soon as they can. So, yeah, keep an eye on Dean. Again, these last couple are going to require a little bit of imagination, okay? I forget that game. What was it, Etch-a-Sketch when we were kids? You got to kind of draw these out a little bit. We're going to go to the Atlanta Falcons. Divine Diablo got hurt, right? So JD, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Bertrand, JD Bertrand, second-year player, he comes in, okay? He comes in, he's kind of suspect in coverage. And, Caden Ellis can play the edge. Fun fact, Caden Ellis has 15 pressures on the season, so they're going to keep playing him edge. So by default, Bertrand's going to play that box role. Guess what he had last week? 50 box snaps. 50 friggin' box snaps. He's doing pretty good for himself. If you remember him as a prospect last year, he only had 25 tackles last year, but he shows he can do it on a limited snap count. But yeah, 50 box snaps last week, producing 10 tackles. You can get that out of him as long as Divine Diablo is out. Now, Joe, I was going to ask you, I'm getting mixed reports on that. I hear he shattered his scorebook forearm. I hear he fractured it. I hear he shattered it. I'm not really sure. I don't really look at the injury report till about Thursday when I have to start players because I want to see if these guys get practice. But I'm pretty sure he's out for a long time now. I don't know if anybody else picked up on that. If you guys know in the chat, go ahead and leave it for me. But yeah, that's a guy right there that you can totally play. Another one, Denver. Did you see the game, Joe?
I did not. I saw it. I saw the Giants
Okay.
way up, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm not watching this anymore.
So right at the end of the game, Greenlaw starts fighting with refs like an idiot. He just came back off of injury, so they suspended him a game. So now we're going to get good old 3-4 tackles out of Justin Strenard again. That's somebody you can easily play in these deeper leagues and get away with it. I know I do. I got him in flexes and in 32-team leagues everywhere. But Grenard makes me mad, dude, because, he did the same crap to me last year. I was holding him in the King's Closet. He comes back, gets hurt. I don't know what to do with that anymore. I kind of wish the guy would just play football already, really, for real. Going a little deeper, the Bills, okay, whatever. What are they, a bye week this week? I don't know. But I'm thinking about Shaq Thompson because Bernard and Milano, they're hurt. So that's kind of like a secondary stash. How deep do you want to go, guys? Denzel Perryman's another name. He's getting 2-down linebacker looks. Troy Dye's out. So like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 10 players right here you guys get to choose from. And I'm going to shoot one more at you. Look at the Indianapolis Colts this week. It's in the article. You know who lost a whole lot of snaps? Jermaine Pratt. Because we all know this. He can't cover to save his life. So guess what? They ended up reducing his playing time. I would not be surprised. This is me being a little bit, assumptive. I would not be surprised if Jalen Carley comes off the IR and he ends up being the guy there. I would not be surprised. I mean, we'd have to connect the dots a little bit, and I still have yet to hear a report about Jalen Carley's at all. But if you want to go super deep, those are your players. Those are the guys that I'd be looking at, So what do we got? We got a question in the chat here. It's question. I'm sorry, I missed it. Cashman versus the Chargers. Dennis versus the Saints. Winners is interesting. I'm going to tell you why, not winners in a second. Winners versus Chiefs. So really, to me, it's Cashman or Dennis. Do you guys have any favorites? Because I know how I want to answer this.
My guy is Servakia Dennis, man. I got him late everywhere this year. I'd play him. New Orleans is going to try to run the ball a lot, at least early, and I think that puts Dennis in a great position to succeed.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful. Oh, there it is too. Houston Live TV. Thank you. Is D Winners droppable? I'm actually going to get to this question in a second when I answer this. Joe, I have it Cashman. I'm old school. I love me some Cashman. You're not wrong either way. Dennis has been doing it this year. Dennis gets exposed in pass coverage. So you can look at that two ways. Oh, crap. Maybe he's not a 3-down roll. But guess what? They don't have anybody else next to David. So maybe him getting exposed leaves him more tackles. It's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, half full, half empty. I got both of these guys in the top tier. And you can argue it either way. I think you're in a good place. I really do. I think you're in a good place with either one. I just have my preferences. We're calling our shots here. So I'll go Cashman. He'll go Dennis. A little healthy conversation. Notice none of us talked about D Winters, Jamie. This will be the last thing I say, and I'll get off the mic. No one's talking about D Winters. Why isn't anyone talking about D Winters? They used to like him. He's the pretty girl on the playground, right? Everybody used to like her in 5th grade. No one likes her anymore, right? Well, he didn't gain 300 pounds over the summer. He didn't. But I'll tell you what he doesn't do. He doesn't tackle anymore. What has he got the last couple games? I'll tell you, 3 games, he's got 11 tackles. He's got 3-game tackle performance last week. Yuck. He's got a 4-game. Before that, another 4-game. So here's the thing. He's not getting play right now. He's not getting run. The guy who is Bethune. So start Bethune, bench Winters. Your question is he droppable? Now, that's an interesting question. I'm going to say no. Here's why. Again, I did the Every Down Linebacker article, so these numbers are in my head. He's getting like 50 box snaps a week. He's still a box defender. He's just not getting his numbers. Joe, I have a hard time dropping a guy that gets 100%, 50 box snaps a week. I have a hard damn time. I'll put him on my bench and take my lumps. If it continues, it continues. But right now, he's getting that good usage. He's just not making the plays. So, yeah, he's droppable to me. I'm not droppable. He's benchable to me, but he's not droppable at the moment. I'll give you a name who is droppable. We didn't talk about him here. Have you looked at Pete Warner recently? Pete Warner, holy crap. In the beginning of the year, I was considering him an every down player. I really was. Here, I'm just going to read it to you guys. 91% of snaps week 1. Yay. 89% week 2. 74 week 3. And now it goes like a plane crash. Here it comes. 69% next week. 88% good. Up and down, right? Last 2 weeks, 59% snaps, 54% snaps. I can't play Pete Warner anymore. He's droppable to me in redraft. So, yeah, okay, I'll get off my soapbox now, but I gave you several names to choose from, guys. Thanks for the comments in the chat. Let me kick it back to the offense. And Jamie's on mute. Either that or he's cursing really loud.
Yeah, fuck this. Let's roll with the wide receivers. Right now, if you need someone to play, go pick up Darnell Mooney. He was dropped in a lot of leagues. He returned in week 7. He had 3 catches, 68 yards, and he's a proven 1,000-yard receiver on the year in the past. So if you need a wide receiver 3 or a flex play, yeah, he's available in tons of leagues. Next, let's go with Keyshawn Booty. We all love smashing Booty. Over the last
Why do I hear that name every week, JB?
Because I don't know why he's still available.
I don't
Over the last 3 weeks,
Booty.
We love Booty, man. I mean, what's better than Booty other than tight ends? But over the past 3 weeks, dude, Booty literally had like 3 for 40 plus, 5 for 90 with 2 touchdowns, and he had like a 2 for 50 plus and a touchdown. New England's offense and May is spreading the ball around. So there is some volatility to Booty, but that's what you get, man. Some are soft, some are juicy, but clearly he's going to be a target, and he deserves to be in that wide receiver 3 flex consideration this week with 6 teams on bye. Tez Johnson. Go after Tez Johnson. This rookie, Tez, he is on fire on Tampa Bay's offense, scoring in back-to-back games with Mike Evans out and Chris Godwin's uncertainty. Tez is running a full route share, and he looks like he's locked into a major role into this Bucs offense. So go grab him. Then you have Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce, he's a big play machine. 4+ catches, 55+ yards in the last 3 of his games. No touchdowns yet, but that could change. He's going to be a must-add, especially in this apocalypse. You pick him up, play him in the flex. Jaden Higgins, what the heck? Why not? Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, why not? Rashad Bateman, he could be someone viable this week. Xavier Legette after last week's big game. I know it was because Pep got sauced. He was locked up by Sauce Gardner all game. So Leggett got all the looks. But that still doesn't mean he's not going to get more looks going forward. So he could be a flex play. Christian Watson coming back. Why not? Jaden Reed's still out. Besides Dubes, who's really running routes in that receiving core? What if Christian Watson comes back and his hamstring's healthy? He could be the guy that we expected him going forward. And then a deep guy, if you are completely desperate, go after the Jets wide receiver 1, Josh Reynolds. I'm not saying he's going to be the best pass catcher in that offense because Jordan Mason has an awesome game versus a volatile defense going against tight ends. But Josh Reynolds could be that second target behind Mason Taylor. So why not give him a shot? So, Joe, I'm asking you, between Darnell Mooney and Tez Johnson, who would you pick up and who would you start?
Man, it would probably have to be Tez because I love Baker Mayfield. With Darnell Mooney, it's weird because Michael Penix, when he was at Washington, I mean, he had Jalen Polk, he had Jalen McMillan, he had Roma Dunze, and they're all pretty good deep ball receivers, and he used to hit them in stride all the time. This dude underthrows Darnell Mooney 100% of the time, and it is, absolutely ridiculous to watch now. But I do love Darnell Mooney. If they can get on the same page, I mean, he is open a lot in this offense. So I'm thinking there are brighter days ahead for Mooney. He had the injury, he missed some time. So I really like the recommendation of Mooney. But I think with what we're seeing from Tez Johnson, if he was 2 feet taller, we'd be talking about a 3-touchdown game from him last week because, Baker is still adjusting to his height. But, I mean, Tez Johnson, MVP, right? Everyone was chanting for him. That's 2 weeks in a row that he has just looked awesome. He's explosive. And when the ball gets in his hands, we haven't seen a ton of it yet. But that touchdown he scored last week, he beat, 2 or 3 defenders to get in the end zone there. And I think we could see it again and even more as the season progresses.
Yeah, I mean, Baker did have a down week. He kind of put a damper on his MVP season last week. But it wasn't all his fault, man. They were playing from behind. He just wasn't poised. And going forward, I think he's going to come back to that MVP type player. And Tez could be that guy. So between Tez and Booty, who would you rather start this week?
Man, so Booty's had 2 monster weeks this season, and he's had 2 very serviceable weeks. And, he's flexy. He's in the flex conversation all the time. I still think with the injuries the Buccaneers have right now and Igbuka getting, pretty much double coverage, I still think I like Tez a little bit more here, but the chemistry between Booty and May is very clear.
So in deeper leagues, are you willing to add Christian Watson? Because we know he had that elite pedigree coming into the league. He just got injured. Are you willing to stash him and see what he does going forward? Or are you just completely ignoring him?
Well, I mean, it's hard. I want to ignore him, but my heart's with if he's absolutely free, throw him on the bench here. Jordan Love just does not focus on a wide receiver here. And, what this team, in a redraft, I love the upside that Christian Watson could offer your team. In a dynasty, if you have him on your team, I'd be trying to move him because when Jaden Reed's back and you have Matthew Golden here, they need to trade Dubs or Wicks. There's just an embarrassment of riches on this team. I don't know what it actually looks like by the end of the season, but Watson has the ability, and we've seen it a million times, especially on broken plays. It seems like one happens each game where he's running 60 yards for a touchdown. And if we can get some of that, that is absolutely a boon for your team.
Yeah, Dubs actually is running like 90% of the team's routes. He plays on the outside. Golden, I think he's only playing like 40% in the slot, 60% on the outside. It's confusing to me because he is more of an outside player.
Yeah, and then Jordan Love just throws it to whoever he wants. So,
when with Reed out, I thought Wicks was going to become that slot receiver, and he showed us nothing. So let's get rid of Wicks and let's just slot in with like Dubes and Golden and Watson. I think that could be Plus, you have Kraft. Why can't you put Kraft in the slot more?
Yeah, this offense makes no sense to me. It's pretty much Josh Jacobs or bust for me at this point, but I do like taking a shot at Christian Watson.
Yeah, Christian Watson, deep play. Dubes, I think he's going to go off this week. I think I have something later for the bets on him. So let's move forward. Is Slayton the wide receiver 1? Man, I can't do it. I can't put him in the wide receiver 1 slot.
Is he playable, Jamie? How about that?
Is he even healthy? What's his health like?
He was close to coming back last week, I think. So there's a chance for this week.
Dart does look to throw to him, so I mean, I don't know. There may be a case for that. I don't know.
I just don't see it. It's going to be Dart, Scatterbo. You got Wandale. I love Wandale this week. I'm playing him in every single league I have him in. But besides that, they just signed Ray McLeod.
Is he the McLeod tribe from Highlander?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ray. But besides that, it's Theo Johnson and Wandale. That's the only 2 pass catchers that I'm comfortable playing. Darius Slayton, I'm going to need to see it more before I even put him on my roster.
Yeah. I think he's an exciting ad because, Dart, we saw it with Trey Harris at Ole Miss. He just said he's down there somewhere. I'm chucking it. And that can be a guy that Darius Slayton can provide him. We only saw 1 game of them together before Slayton got hurt. So I've stashed him in quite a bit of leagues, hoping that once he gets in the field and they build a chemistry a little bit, that he could be, a guy that's going to give you 3 receptions for 90 yards and hopefully a touchdown. But, he's still going to be that boomer bust.
Even before Slayton got hurt, he was only giving you 5-6 fantasy points a week. Yeah, I know Neighbors is out now, so it does make him more like a what the heck flex guy, but I'm not willing to put my chips in on him.
That's fair.
Jamie, you have that booty question in the flex. Any of that interest you? The Josh Reynolds, the Pierce, or Bateman?
Oh shit! Besides, I mentioned all these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love the booty. I'm definitely going to start the booty over Reynolds, Mims, Pierce. A.O. Manor's interesting, man. Dude is getting the targets. And an offense that just changed coaches, and they do need that young guy. I call him the catching Canuck because he's Canadian. I love A.O. Manor. Maybe not this week. Maybe not next week, but for Dynasty, I recommend going and get some A.O. Manor over all these guys.
You had a question about Little. He ain't little, but little Jordan Humphreys, is he droppable?
I dropped him in a 12-team league. I don't know about a 16-team league. That's a little bit deeper.
Starting 3 flexes, 36? I think he's droppable. What do you say, Joe?
I wouldn't in a 16-team league. I'd see 1 more week out of it because we did see a game where he did have an impact, and they need a tall wide receiver out there. I mean, Ray McLeod's no different than Wandale. I mean, Wandale's much better. But, these small, shifty guys are not getting it done. They need, Neighbors had that huge catch radius. But if we can get a 6'4" wide receiver on the outside there, that's what they need in this offense.
Yeah, so I literally just dropped this dude, little Jordan Humphrey. I'm in 35 leagues, so I can't find who I dropped him for. But it was a best ball tournament style league.
So I beat Ricky in the Kings Classic this week, Joe, and I had little Jordan Humphrey, and I can't remember the other guy. I got nothing out of those guys, so I got a bad piece of my mouth. But I beat them nonetheless. But my defense carried through,
Yeah, you got the dub there. I totally get it. I just he looked really good, and then we just gotta wait for the chips to fall in this offense to really get an idea because each one of these guys has played 1 or 2 games with Dart, and it's who's going to take a step? Is it literally just the tight ends and Wandale, or are we going to see someone else?
This is the kind of year, to be honest. If you look at like historically, the NFL, it's a longer season. There's no preseason, right? Wide receiver 3 guys come out of nowhere this time of year, right? RBs, backup cuffs come out of nowhere. And you know what else? Linebackers too. How many linebackers? Like over 10. There's so many guys that just come out of the woodwork right now. I kind of don't want to tell you my strategy, Joe, because we're bitter rivals. I'm
all ears.
I'm playing Jamie in a couple weeks. You guys mentioned McLeod. I'm thinking of Highlander. We're fighting till there can only be one. I like to draft elite defensive linemen, get all those 3-down linebackers, and then I punt the shit out of defensive backs. I punt. Yeah. So I got a couple this episode. I don't know if you guys are done, Jamie. I got a couple. I'm going to go like deep. We're talking like Fantasy Pros DB 100s. That's how sick in the head I am. But you can get away with playing these guys. Like I got one, like a DB 60 something, and you can play them all the way DB 14. So that's crazy. Jamie, do you got anything else you want me to go to the defensive backs?
Yeah, go to the DBs.
Okay. I'm not going to go over any of the ones we already know. If you don't know the Connors, the Tyke Smiths, I can't help you. I'm going to go super, super deep. I'm going to name like 4 or 5 of these guys, and then we'll call it I'll go back to tight end with you. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is Dane Belton. He's DB 54 on Fantasy Pros. That's dead wrong. The Giants had games last week, week 7. Jason Pinnock got hurt. They put Belton in and played that box roll. Now, they got 20 box snaps, but it didn't matter. He got 10 tackles. Why he's dangerous? Because this team is a mess. Newman's been up and down all season. I mean, he had, a 9-tackle game? But most of the time, he has like 3-4 tackle weeks if you look at his numbers. Paulson Adebo may or may not be hurt. And then the guy that replaced Adebo was Banks, Deontay Banks. There's rumors right now his work ethic's questionable. They're talking about trading him. The only constant on this team in the secondary right now is Dane Belton getting his box snap roll. He's getting 41% of the work between box and slot. The other 57% free. Got 10 tackles out of it. You can play this guy DB2, DB3, kind of sort of get away with it, especially during the bye weeks. That's how I kind of roll. This next player I'm so excited to talk to you about, Joe. This is the DB61, Joe, right? You know what he's ranked right now in 1, 2, 3 scoring? DB14. This guy's name is Mickey Blackman of the Colts. I get it confused because they had a Blackman guy a couple years ago. This is a different guy, okay? Mickey Blackman is a good producer, DB14 right now. He's also good statistically. He got a 57.5 rating. That's ranked 10th. In coverage, he's an 8.4 EPA. That's 14th. 2 interceptions. That's ranked 2nd. Throw in some, tackles and some sacks in between there. I'm picking up Blackman everywhere because people don't know. For those that don't know, I'll just put it out now. In August, he was traded to the Colts from the Vikings for a 6th-round draft pick. It was originally perceived, they were doing it for roster space, but it turns out he's actually really good. The 6 weeks that he played, he didn't play one of the weeks, Joe, and he's got, a minimum of 200 snaps right now. He's quietly putting together something. Like I said, he's ranked high. He's also ranked 10th overall rating in PFF, and he's ranked 14th in coverage. So to put it gently, right now he's got 29 tackles on the season in those 6 games. So he's a clear contributor that you can get away with super, super, super deep. And another thing that's fun with defensive backs is the rotations. You guys know I write the IDP Safety Dance article. It'll be out tomorrow, so some of these takes will be in there. The Jets got Austin Davis playing. If you were too late to get to Austin Davis, if you were too late to get there, try and get the rookie Malachi Moore. He was in our top 10 rookies when we did all the profiles this offseason. He's going to be starting. So that's a pretty good play there for you guys. There's a question in the chat I missed earlier. This is actually a fun question from Level Up Lore. He's asking about Jalen Thompson or Budda Baker. This is a neat question. I think you probably read my other Box Snap article, so I'm going to try to answer this one, okay? When you look at the Cardinals' defense, when you look at right now what's happening, it's kind of interesting to me. If you like numbers, if you look at it, okay? They rank 6.5% when an opponent is trying to complete a pass on them. So they're really good at the corner spots. They rank 11th in the league. They shut down the completion percentages on these quarterbacks and these receivers, right? Now, here's the downside to this. They also have given up, ready for this, 1,554 passing yards. So they're giving up chunk plays down the field. That actually ranks near the bottom of the league. So you got good play and bad play. There's some holes in this defense. The way I interpret this secondary, it's a 3-4 base scheme. You have both safeties, Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson, taking turns in the box. So it's a good question, but you're asking me which one. Well, if you asked me earlier in the year, it was Jalen Thompson getting all those good snaps, right? Right now, the last 3 games, it's reversed. Budda Baker actually has 65 box snaps in the last 3 games. And he's starting to play like old Budda Baker used to with his 8 tackles. When you look at Jalen Thompson, he's the one that's playing a little bit more free. He used to play 74 box snaps the first 3 games, but the last couple weeks, he's been super playing deep. So just keep that in mind. They rotate these players. Right now, the hot hand is Baker. I'm going to tell you Baker. I'm going to go back to the old honey hole with Baker. Any other questions? Oh, we do have another question here in the chat with DBs. Hold on. Let's go. Badger said, how do you rank DB CBs this week in 6-point interception, 3-point pass deflection? So here's where it gets juiced a little bit. He's got 3-point pass deflection. Let me interject real quick. Joe, a lot of these questions come from the IDP Center Discord. It's a fun place. It's a free site. All these guys kind of get together. That's where a lot of our audience comes from, a couple people on YouTube. There's a league I play with some of these guys. It's a 20-team. You start 8 defensive backs, Joe, 8 points of pass deflection. That is crazy. So some of the scoring they have is fantastic. But that's like the only league I'll consider DBs first, and I won't do what I'm doing now. But his is 3 points pass deflection, no return yards. That's the key to this whole sentence. No return yards. Do you want Marcus Jones or do you want Drew Phillips? Interesting question. If it was return yards, it would be no question Marcus Jones sleep like a baby. But now you got no return yards. So what do? Do you go with what you know or what you're thinking? I'll tell you what. I'll give you my take. I think it's close. I got them ranked this week like 25 and 29. I got Phillips ahead of Jones with no kick return scoring. But again, when you're dealing with cornerbacks, I don't think you're wrong anyway. I don't know if you guys see it any better, but that's what I would do with that one. Thoughts?
I don't hate it. I mean, Jordan Battle's been playing a lot. And the other thing with Drew Phillips is Philly is not able to run the ball. So I feel like they're going to be throwing the ball quite a bit. So he could have a pretty decent game. But I think you're right, Steve.
So, Joe, Jamie, I didn't tell you this. Joe is a diehard Bears fan. Are you not?
Yes.
Yeah, he don't like it when you talk crap about the Bears. In fact, I was supposed to come on his show. He's like, hey, you better be nice talking about Justin Fields. I'm like, Joe, he's not on that team anymore. He's on the Jets. He goes, still, that's second cousin to the team. So I got to watch what I say. I was all on the Byard camp. I was all about it because I was really shitting on Brisker for a minute there. Brisker had a game. Beginning of the year, he was losing all his slot snaps, and they couldn't really figure out what they're going to do. They've been getting him in the trenches. He's been coming off the A-gap. He's been getting a lot of pressures like Derwin James. So Brisker's a big play now. I got Brisker and Byard close in the rankings this week. So I'm back kind of on the Brisker train, and I've been kind of ragging him the last couple weeks. This question here, they're asking me Battle. I've been putting Battle in my top 10s almost every week. Byard's not too far behind that. But if you're asking me no scoring, no context, I'm going to take Battle over Byard. I don't see it really any. It's not going to change your week either way. But give me Byard. Give me Battle because Byard actually has Brisker there. You, Joe, any thoughts there?
No, I think you're right. I do like Battle here. He's a hard guy to bench. I mean, he had a couple down games, maybe one down game, but the rest has been pretty solid. With the Bears defense, with your talk on it, when Kyler Gordon came back, it allowed them to put Brisker back into his aggressive kind of role that he's had on this team. And what you're seeing is the linebackers are, we got TJ Edwards back, and you got Kyler Gordon back, and that allows this defense to be extremely aggressive. So Brisker going forward is going to continue to get those big plays, and Byard's probably going to continue to get some interceptions. Now, I don't think Lamar is going to be the guy that's going to throw it to him this week. So I do like Battle better in this setup, especially going against Tyrod in the Jets.
Right. I've nailed so many defensive backs other episodes. I'm kind of exhausted with it. This is what I do, guys. I just look at week to week like this, and I kind of can stream the position. I'll tell you what else I stream. I stream the heck out of cornerback. So I'm going to give it back to you, Jamie, but I'm going to read a couple cornerbacks that I'm interested in every week. If you have a QB required league, I know me and Joe play in Kings Classic. You start one, but I have a couple that I have to do too. Guys like Dax Hill who get picked on, and when he plays in the slot, he gets you points. You know Kobe Bryant. You know Jordan Lewis. We've talked to him. Billy Bowman's kind of interesting. I like Billy Bowman because, his college profile, he's a human joystick. Every time he was like that Madden player, you hit triangle, he catches the ball, he gets a touchdown. Every time he got a big play, he'd run it in. I kind of like him as a prospect. Kyle Gordon, the Bears, just came back. He had himself a big game. I'm still curious if they're going to play him in the slot or not because they have a couple good players there. You guys know Marcus Jones already. I get away with playing Kamari Lassiter a lot of places. He's only owned in 9% of leagues. His tackles hold up. He holds up well in coverage. There's a Raiders player, Caillou Blue Kelly. I get away with playing him everywhere. He's a deep league stash to me. And I'm kind of well, Jalen Watson doesn't fit my profile. He makes you big plays and what have you. But the problem is he's like a part-time player. He doesn't get the snaps all the time. I'll give you one more. I'm kind of partial to Brandon Stevens, the former Raven who plays with the Jets right now. Anybody who's opposite of Sauce Gardner, you're going to get points. It's kind of neat. And let's talk about Tyson Campbell real quick. He's going crazy. Is he not, Badger? He gets traded and he goes crazy. Go figure on that, right? But, yeah, Tyson Campbell is an excellent play as well. And you're welcome, Epic, for giving you that huge insight on the Byard and Brisker situation. That's what we're here for. Leave your comments in the chat. I'm going to give it back to Jamie. Jamie's going to run tight ends and bets together. I know we went a little long. And then anything we don't cover, we're going to put in the chat, right, Jamie?
Yeah, so right now I want to get the tight ends. Gaston, I've been telling you since week 5 on this show, you need to go pick up Rondé Gaston. He finally broke out 2 weeks ago, and he had a huge game last week. So what are you doing? Why are you waiting so long to get this guy on your team? Even with Disley and Quentin Johnson back, Gaston is running routes at 77% of the dropbacks. He posted back-to-back big games, 17 targets over the last 2 weeks. And the team is really trying to get him more involved. He's playing like a tight end 1, and he's a must-add. So what are you guys doing? Go pick him up. This is the final week that I'm telling you to pick up Rondé Gaston. Then, if you really need someone, go pick up Dalton Schultz. Schultz could outscore Gaston this week in week 8, but only if Nico Collins is out because he has that head injury. Monday night gave 10 targets. Schultz literally is going to give you 10 targets this week. It's tight end. It's a tight end weekend. What do they call it? The holiday for tight ends?
National Tight Ends Day. Yeah, you're
National
right.
Tight Ends Day. Go get Dalton Schultz, play him because he's going to give you 10 targets. And he'll at least catch 6 of them. So in a bye-week apocalypse, that's someone you want to play. Juwan Johnson, he bounced back in week 7 with 5 catches, 79 yards, 23% target share. With Olave, with those trade rumors that they're going on, like, are they going to trade Olave? Who knows? But this is a strong play this week. Let's reset the tight end market and play him versus Tampa Bay this week. He's a solid streaming option. Go a little bit deeper, man. Colton Loveland, a guy we all love in Dynasty. But he's been a bum this year. But he's going to get a bump.
You're going to make Joe mad. He just came on the show. He's just relaxing.
All right, well, Colton Loveland, man, in week 7, with Komet out, he saw season-high snaps, 4 targets, 3 catches, 24 yards. That doesn't sound that appetizing, but he was the Bears' 10th overall pick, and he could see a full-time role going forward after week 8. And they're facing a tight end-friendly Ravens defense, allowing 15.2 fantasy points to the tight ends. So what's to say that Colton Loveland can't put up a 15-point game this week? Let's go. Mason Taylor, yeah, he had a down week, but he is going to get going. He is another guy on this tight end holiday facing one of the worst defenses, first tight ends, allowing one of the top yards per tight end. So go fire up Mason Taylor. Then you have Kate Otten. Let's get Kate Otten going. Theo Johnson, why not? And then I'm going to give you a bonus. This is a do not stream bonus. Do not start Jatavian Sanders versus the Bills, because the Bills are locking down tight ends. They're only allowing 5.5 points, 5.5 to the tight ends per game. Second fewest in the league. So do not start tight ends versus the Bills. So this week, Jatavian Sanders. Next week, Kelsey. Do not start Kelsey next week. Do not start Jatavian Sanders this week. So, Joe, out of all those, would you rather start a Rodney Gaston or a Dalton Schultz this week?
Oh, man. That's tough with the Nico injury. I want to say Gadsden, but I don't think Justin Herbert's going to throw. Well, he's not going to throw for 420 yards every week. So I would go Gadsden, but like 5 for 50 would make me real happy from Gadsden. I like Schultz a lot, and if Nico does miss, we could see some, Jalen Knoll, some other guys step up. But I think for me personally, I would play Gadsden.
Okay, so Gadsden or Juwan Johnson, who is seeing 22% of the target share.
The target share is awesome. I like the fact that he's pretty much the number 2 target on this team. I know Shaheed's there for the big plays and everything, but I was kind of down on him. But the Bears, like you said, are pretty friendly to tight ends here, so I'm going to stick with Gadsden there too.
All right, so last question: Gadsden or the number 1 tight end that a lot of people thought was above Tyler Warren, Colton Loveland getting his start without a Cole Kmet.
Oh man, I want your projection to come true, and I believe in it, man. Thanks for putting that out there. As the Bears fan in me, I am going to go with Gadsden.
I love it. Gadsden, I own him in 16 of my dynasty leagues.
Joe was
Excellent.
setting me up. I thought Joe was going to go the other way for a second. I'm like, don't do it, Joe. It's Gadsden.
Yes,
No, it is, man.
It is.
I love Loveland, and they're clearly trying to get him involved. So hopefully we see better things in the future. I don't think it's a missed pick like a lot of people are saying in Dynasty. Just hold tight with him. Don't trade him.
Hey,
So
Badger was saying in the chat, Jamie, if I may, he said huge shout out for Jamie on the Catskin call. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take it back a minute. Last year on this show, Joe, and I was looking for a tight end in the Kings Classic. Jamie called Juju Smith of the Dolphins like 3 weeks for everybody else. Am I lying, Jamie? And I picked him up in the Kings Classic. You know the guy who quit halfway through the year last year from that one show? I don't want to say his name, but he quit. He dropped Smith, and I played him against him, and I won by a couple of points. Jamie, I have the quarterback whisperer and the tight end whisperer all in the same damn room. I
just want to shout out, that was our 9K view show where I said, go pick up Jonnu Smith. It was week 8, I want to say. Week 7 or 8.
Yeah, it was 7 because I played him week 8 and I beat the dude. And he just dropped it, and I needed a tight end. So I listened to this show. Jamie carries me. He's my secret weapon here.
So Mason Taylor.
Hell of a call.
Mason Taylor, though, man, he is facing one of the worst defenses against tight ends. Would you play it safe for Mason Taylor, or would you start around Gaston just because of the hype?
I love Mason Taylor, man, but I do not trust Tyrod Taylor in that Jets offense. I mean, without Garrett Wilson, it's promising, but.
Well, the thing is, Mason Taylor is facing a defense that allows 76 yards on average to the tight end position. Second highest in the league for yards allowed to tight ends. They don't have Garrett Wilson this week. So that does make Mason Taylor very sexy.
Yeah. I do love Mason Taylor. I trust Justin Herbert a hell of a lot more than Tyrod Taylor, though.
100%.
That's how I'm going to break that one down.
Let's go Gaston over Taylor. I know it's not against, it's going to be against consensus, but let's go Gaston over Taylor. Love it.
Jamie's holding that little clipboard like he's a little coach on the sidelines. You see that right there? It looks kind of cool. You had a question in the chat, Joe, from Badger. He wanted to know, do you think Komet plays this week?
Man, it's tough to tell. He's got that back injury. He didn't practice today, so just kind of monitor it and see. I think from the fantasy aspect of it, or from the NFL aspect of it, let him rest, get him healthy, and we want to see Colson Loveland for once. So,
and the fact that they took him 10th, they took Loveland 10th overall. Come on, let's get him involved.
Joe got another question. I missed it earlier. What's Joe's handle? He loves this show. You like offensive points, too. I'm telling you, they go back and forth like brothers, back and forth. They do defense, too. So, Joe, what is your handle? Is it like OP underscore something?
It's OP Joe with 2 E's on it.
You're going to get stalked after this. You're going to have some fan base coming at you.
Excellent. I appreciate it.
Epic's back at you, Jamie. He's like, he can't believe 3 different Pittsburgh tight ends scored in the Bengals last week. That's what happens, right?
Well, last week I did say Jonnu was a streamer. I didn't expect Freiermuth to do what he did. But Jonnu was still a good streamer. He got over 10 points. So I call that a win. So let's move on. We're running late. Let's get on to our best bets. You ready for this, Steve?
I'm ready.
So for Thursday night, we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to bet the over hits because in 2 straight Chargers games, it hit on the over. And Wentz is starting, and he hit on the over in his starts. So let's set the over at 44.5 total. Let's go over on that. Both teams, I'm taking both teams to score 15-plus points. I know it's a low bet, but it's a hit. Both teams are going to score 15-plus points. It's only at minus 203 odds, but this is free money. Go put $50 on it, and you're going to get the fucking free win. So Carson Wentz, I'm taking his over on 223.5 passing yards because Wentz has gone over on his passing yards total in all the games that he started this year. He's averaging 268, and it's only at 223. That's a 40-yard difference. Come on, let's take the over on Wentz. Herbert's passing prop is only 252, and he's averaging 273. So why wouldn't you take the over on his passing prop, which is 21 yards less than his season average? Then I'm gonna go even further. Justin Jefferson over 79.5 receiving yards, and I'm giving Justin Jefferson a touchdown. Jordan Mason, give him a touchdown. You parlay that together with a Jordan Mason and a Jefferson touchdown, that's a plus 550. And you can even add in the Justin Jefferson yards to spice it up even more. So I love these parlays. I know they're sucker bets, but if you want to play it safe on a parlay, go Justin Herbert, 230 plus passing yards. Carson Wentz, 200 plus. Orlando Gaston, 25 plus. Justin Jefferson, 50 plus. Addison, 25 plus. And take the over at 39.5 plus. I know the odds are only plus 305, but that's such a safe parlay where you can get free money. So what do you think, Joe? Joe, are you a betting man?
I am not, man. I make stupid bets. I'm always like, I remember my favorite bet is in a couple Super Bowls ago was Pacheco more receptions in the Super Bowl or the St. Louis Blues more goals in a game. I took Pacheco because that was when he was receiving, he was catching footballs nonstop. The Blues went out and scored 7 goals that day. And I was watching that game and I was like, damn. And then Pacheco, I think, had 6 receptions. So it was a safe bet because the Blues suck. But
don't feel bad at all. I usually, if I have a hot bet, I'll put it. But Jamie usually carries this portion. He's really good at it. Fun fact, Jamie did a 10-legged parlay like a couple weeks ago. He missed it a couple weeks ago now. He missed it by a Tyreek Hill 1 friggin' yard.
1 yard.
No.
1 yard.
Yeah, I will send you that screenshot. I was like, oh, my God, Jamie.
That's amazing.
So that's the Thursday night bets. Going forward, if you want to look further into it, we don't have the line set, but Cincinnati – it's fancy goal for running back. So right now, giving up big rushing and receiving numbers, Breece Hall is a go. You bet his overs. I'm giving him a bounce back week. Look at taking his over on his rushing and receiving combined yards. Locked in. One more, Jonathan Taylor, his rushing props. First Titans run defense, it's going to be a mess. 4th most yards allowed to running backs at 100, 115 per game. And leads the league in rushing touchdowns. So Taylor is going to get a touchdown and he's going to cash in on those yards. So take that for a free bet right there. One more, tight end holiday week. Bet Kittle, anytime touchdown. Yeah, he got none last week, not even a target, but he is going to get a touchdown this week. He may even get 2. Give him 3. Give him 4. I'm taking Kittle 2 touchdowns. So, Joe, what do you think about that?
Man, I love it. I love the thought you put into those too. Jonathan Taylor is going to kill the Titans. Absolutely. Breece Hall is going to run all over him. I had another bet for that Cincinnati game that I did look up for you today, and that was T. Higgins is plus 166 for 70 receiving yards. And with Chase over there on Sauce Island, I think that T. Higgins is going to have a monster game. So
I do
like
T. Higgins. Yes.
Yeah, I got that one for you, but I love those bets, man. And for the Kittle one, can we please get Brock Purdy in there? Because Mac Jones does not know that George Kittle exists. So I really need some Brock Purdy for my Kings Classic love.
Love it.
Hey, I just wanted to thank the number 1 QB ranker. I found a tweet, everybody. I just put it up there. Number 1 QB horse whisperer from 2024. He's going to do it again this year. Epic, I got your Discord. I'm checking it out now. And then lastly, LD Jamie, he's asking about Chase Brown's rushing yards. Seems kind of low. What are you guys' thoughts there?
I would go all in on Chase Brown. He's going to be a buy low. You go buy him right now. I think he can be involved in the passing game. He's going to be more involved in the rushing. Yes, go buy him.
Yeah, I love the thought on it. Chase Brown, I just made a trade today. It was Bill Okrosky Merritt for Chase Brown straight up, and I took that because I do think with Flacco at QB, we see an upswing with Chase Brown. The Jets, pretty beatable on the ground. So I think I don't hate that bet if you want to throw that one down there.
This has been a great show.
Yeah, I was about to say, get a room, you two. You're really enjoying yourselves a little too much, but yeah, just I would say let's close it on a good note. Tell the audience where they can find you guys.
Yeah, Joe, where can we find you, man?
You can find me at OP Joe with 2 E's on Twitter. You can find the show at Offensive Points. Fantasy Six Pack, 8 a.m. on Thursdays is when the show drops. Preview all the games for the weekend. And we also are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at Offensive Points Podcast.
And you all know where to find me right here every Wednesday night with Steve. But I just want you to remember, in fantasy, the only thing sacred is the chaos. So keep grinding, stay sharp, and watch your back. Because those sleepers, they bite you in the ass.
All right, talk hard, everybody. We'll see you next week.